Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. What is up? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of New York. That's episode 9 of season 14. Okay, so the women are getting ready and they're heading over for dinner. I did think it was funny that when they were getting into the truck, Erin had to make some shady comment about Jenna, and she said, "Oh, this is what it's like sitting on coach." And Jenna says, "Oh, well then you should be an expert at it." Yes, subtle shade by Jenna. I loved it. So they arrive at this restaurant that is super nice because it's outdoors, so they were like on top of the sand. And Ubah says that this reminds her of Africa, and she also says, "Don't believe that the whole continent of Africa is like you see in those pictures that they be putting on commercials." Then they're talking about what they're wearing, and Jessel says that she loves Jenna's dress, and she says, "You should let me borrow it sometime. We should do a dress swap, not a wife swap." And she looks at Brynn as a joke, but Brynn is not here for it. She says, "Stop it, don't do that." And Ubah is the only sane, smart person who says that those jokes that Brynn was making at the party about Erin's husband were not okay. She says, "Y'all know that it was wrong, but some of them, like Sai, are refusing to accept that it was wrong." But then Brynn says that she would like to take the opportunity to apologize to Erin for saying that her party was boring, but it wasn't. And Erin says, "I thought you were going to apologize for flirting with my husband, not because you said that the party was boring." So then, yet again, Brynn says she didn't do anything wrong and that she should be the one getting an apology for being accused of such an awful thing. What? Like, what the hell? Anyway, they're about to have the conversation, like really get into it. And then Sai rudely asks the waiter to come and take their order while they were like mid-sentence. So, and she's also trying to be like the referee and calm things down. And I was just like, damn, Sai, you are a buzzkill. But to end things, Erin says that she knew that Brynn had no real malicious intent. It wasn't okay to do it, but they can move past it, so they hug it out. Then the conversation goes back to Jenna and her flight. Jenna says, "Do you guys seriously think I flew by myself because I didn't want to fly coach with y'all?" And they say yes. And I truly blame Erin for this because Jenna told her in a girl-to-girl way, and this lady, Erin, went and said it to the group with shade. Then Brynn says that she feels like all Jenna does is give gifts, which she says she likes. I'm sure she does. But they want her to open up more. It's the thing that they've all been saying like for a while now. And Sai references that when they were at those auditions and Jenna started opening up to a complete stranger, it confused her. But Jenna says, well, in that moment, that person that was auditioning was very nervous, so I just said something to make them feel more comfortable. And Brynn says, well, I've cried in front of you and you never told me your name was Judith. And it just makes no sense because I guess she's referring to when she was crying about her traumatic childhood. Was Jenna supposed to say, "Hey, sad story. By the way, my name is Judith"? Like, what? That makes no sense. But Jenna does apologize because it's never been her intention to make them feel like she doesn't care about them or that she doesn't like them. But because of everything she's been through, she's very guarded. And she starts to cry, you guys. Ugh, I felt so bad because she's not used to this. And she starts to tell them that her mom was extremely sick, had a very bad condition, that she could show no emotion. So she didn't grow up like a normal child. So of course she's going to be a little bit different. And Brynn says that, well, it's good to share these things so that we don't assume. And Jenna says, well, don't assume, just ask. Jenna says that she appreciates, them for opening up, like Brynn, Sai, and Erin, and Ubah, like their stories have been really, nice and interesting to hear about. And then the table says, well, you know what? We haven't heard too much about Jessel. So they ask her and she starts to tell her story. It's very interesting because she's Indian, of course, but her parents were actually born in Kenya, in Africa. Her parents had it very rough. They had to move from India, and then they lived in Africa, and then they went back to Europe. And she also starts to talk about the uncle and the auntie and the cousin and the neighbor. It was a little bit all over the place. Got an internship to go to New York. And she says that it was brutal, according to her. And she says to Erin, you said that I'm probably used to being catered to, and that's why I got upset at you for saying that. But then they head out, and in the car they start to have some fun. And y'all, Erin didn't know what WAP meant. And she says that she's 35, which some people on social media I saw were completely shocked. They thought she was older. And then it is the next morning. Everybody is waking up. Sai goes outside to take some pictures for her page. Jessel and Ubah had to share a room, so they're quickly talking about Brynn. Not necessarily anything too bad, but just that she's a little crazy, like she kind of spirals and gets a little kooky. Then the girls head over for breakfast. Erin tells Brynn that she really appreciated last night and felt like her apology was genuine. Everything is fine, but when they ask Jenna how she is, she starts to cry again because y'all have to remember she also just went through a breakup very recently. Then Brynn says, you want to see my breasts so, you can cheer up? They then continue to talk about childhoods, and Sai opens up about her mom who was an alcoholic. So she gets very emotional talking about that. It was pretty hard for her growing up, and she then says that the mom's not alive anymore, which that was rough. She had a heart attack. She passed away. Very sad. But Sai says that her mom's ashes are in a shopping bag somewhere in her closet. And then Jessel says, have you ever thought about where you're going to spread her? I mean, you're not going to leave it in there forever, right? And then she says, no, I might plant her in a tree. Then they head over to the beach, which they had a private beach to themselves. Erin and Brynn have this little weird, creepy conversation on the side, which is that they should get Jessel drunk and send pictures to her husband so that they can smash. I think that's crossing a line, to be honest. I'm sorry, but I do. But then they start to have some fun and take pictures. They were acting like if they were American Eagle models. You know how like they have those pictures in the stores? That's what they were doing. But at least they were having fun. But it was a little bit sad to see Jenna, who is having fun, but it's not the same as actually being in it, like taking pictures, and they were all getting naked in the water and stuff like that. After some hours of that, they head back, get ready, and go out to have some lunch. By the way, Anguilla is just really nice. So they're eating, and Sai asks Brynn, how's your dating life? And she talks about that and says that she wants to end up with someone who wants a family because she really wants to have kids. So Ubah shares that she has had her eggs frozen, and Brynn says that when she went to go get her eggs frozen, they told her that she should freeze embryos instead because it's better to do that, and that they told her to put down a name of a man that she would want to have an embryo with, and that she was going through her phone looking for who to call. And Erin is saying to Ubah, I don't think that's true. Like, they don't make you be doing all that. Brynn couldn't hear her because she was still talking. So then Erin says, you know what, Brynn, I love you, but I don't believe you about what you're saying about the embryo thing. What place would make you do that? And Brynn is now offended and says that it's super messed up for Erin to say that. I'm starting to see some serious problems with Brynn. Anyway, they leave, and then on the truck, Erin apologizes, and they can be really exhausting, I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit later then, and as Sai is getting ready for dinner, Brynn stops by and says that she's going to have to sit this dinner out because she just wants to rest. So then Brynn goes to Erin's room to tell her the same thing. She just wants her to know that she wants to rest, and it's not that she's mad at Erin or anything. Then Brynn starts to cry, and Erin says, oh, I love you, and they hug, and this is the weirdest friendship I've seen. It's definitely a bipolar friendship. And that was all we got this episode. Pretty boring, but next week I think it'll start to get a little bit more interesting because Ubah's gonna get into. There might be a fight, y'all. She got up and close with Erin and took those glasses off her face. But as for this episode, that was all, you guys. Please let me know in the comments what are your thoughts about what happened on this episode, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all next time. Have a great one. Bye.